You push through the heavy glass doors and the bank hums with that particular quiet. Keyboards clicking, a printer somewhere spitting out receipts, a security guard nodding as you walk past. A screen above the counter flashes a number, and you glance down at the small ticket in your hand, waiting for it to match. Your number lights up, and you walk to the window where a man in a blue tie is already reaching for your ticket. "Good morning, how can I help you today?" Old you would have handed over a piece of paper and pointed, hoping gestures could do the talking English couldn't. New you just says it. "I'd like to open a savings account, please." 6 words. Clean, no pointing required. "Sure, I'll just need some ID and proof of address." You slide your passport across the counter, and he types for a moment, glancing up between keystrokes. "Are you looking for an account with a monthly fee? Or would you prefer one with no fee but fewer features?" A question with weight behind it. 2 real options instead of one obvious answer. And for a second, your brain scrambles, searching for the safest response instead of the honest one. Then it clicks. This isn't a test. It's just a choice. "The no-fee one, please. I don't need anything fancy right now." He nods, types it in, no hesitation on his end either. He slides a form across the counter, dense with small print, and taps a line near the bottom. "Just sign here and initial these 2 boxes." You read every line you actually understand before signing. And when one sentence trips you up completely, tangled in banking terms that don't exist in your everyday vocabulary, you don't just nod and sign blindly the way old you might have. "Sorry, could you explain what this line means about the minimum balance?" He leans in, rephrases it, slower, patient. Like this is a completely normal question to ask because it is 2 weeks later, you're back, and this time, something's wrong. A charge on your account you don't recognize, sitting there like a splinter you can't stop noticing. Old, you might have let it go, assumed it was your own mistake, too afraid of sounding confrontational in a language still slightly borrowed. New you walk straight to the counter. "Hi, I noticed a charge on my account I don't recognize. Could you help me look into it?" No apology buried inside the sentence, no unnecessary softening, just a clear problem stated clearly. The woman at the counter pulls up your account, frowning slightly at the screen. "I see it. That looks like it might be a duplicate charge from a card payment. Let me file a dispute for you." Relief lands somewhere in your chest. Quiet but real. "Thank you. How long does that usually take?" A follow-up question asked without hesitation, because you've learned that one sentence rarely has to be the end of the conversation. Another month passes, and you need a favor this time, something bigger. A loan for a car you've been eyeing for weeks. You sit across from an advisor in a small glass office, nerves buzzing under your calm exterior. Because numbers and money always feel higher stakes than small talk. "I'm interested in applying for an auto loan. What would I need to bring in?" She lists documents, a proof of income, bank statements, and you write them down without needing her to repeat anything twice. You come back the following week with everything in a folder, and she reviews it while you sit in. Silence that doesn't feel as heavy as silence used to. "Everything looks good. I can get you approved for this amount." Does that work for what you're looking for? A real decision sitting right in front of you. And instead of just accepting the first number out of politeness, you actually think about it. "Could we look at a slightly lower amount? I'd rather not borrow more than I need." She nods, adjusts it, and something small but important happens in that moment. A boundary set calmly, a preference stated without apology. There's a version of all this where none of it happens the way it did, where you accept whatever account they hand you. Ignore a charge that isn't yours. Take whatever loan amount is offered because negotiating in English felt like a wall too high to climb. You know that version. You almost lived it the first time you walked through those glass doors. This time, the sentences arrive when you need them. Not perfectly. You still pause sometimes, still ask someone to repeat a term you don't recognize, but the sentences hold their weight anyway. Opening an account, disputing a charge, negotiating a loan amount that actually fits your life, instead of someone else's assumption of it. You walk out of the bank that afternoon with the folder tucked under your arm, Keys to a car you'll pick up next week already living somewhere in your imagination. And the glass doors close behind you the same way they always do. Quiet, automatic, unremarkable. Except this time, you walked through them, and everything on the other side you handled yourself.